Hey guys, Lone Star here with another VOD review. This one is of Syndra versus Yasuo. This is one of Syndra's more difficult matches, but if you play it properly and go into it with the right game plan, you can definitely still win the lane. So first, you should know that Syndra gets priority early on in the matchup. This is because it's ranged versus melee. Second, you should remember that freezing is always very good against Yasuo. This is because he generally doesn't roam as well as a champion like Katarina or Pyke mid. He also can't break the freeze very easily, and because he's very vulnerable to ganks. Third, you should remember that his mobility is tied to minions, and your minions specifically. If he's in the river, he doesn't really have much mobility. If you want to escape him, don't run down towards your minions, run away from your minions. Fourth, remember to auto to proc his shield and then use your abilities to poke him. You don't want to waste your mana early on to proc his shield. Number 5, remember that his W only blocks your E and your R. Your Q is not a projectile, and your W goes through his wind wall. The wind wall will block your E so that the balls stop at the base of the wall, and for your ultimate, the spheres will disappear if they go through the wind wall. And 6, like always, don't die to ganks, and play extremely safe when your E is on cooldown. Yasuo wants to run you down. So starting into the laning phase, you can see that I start to auto to slow push the wave. I'm going to go for an auto to proc a shield and then a Q after it goes away, but unfortunately I miss, and I miss this next one. I should really be going for Q when he goes to hit a minion, and when he goes to hit this next blue minion, I'm going to go for Q on him. Unfortunately, I misclick where I want it to go, so I don't hit it. And again here, I'm going to go for Q when he goes to Q the minion. Free harass. Here I should go for an auto instead of a Q, just to proc his shield. And I hit level 2, so I'm going to go for QE. Dodges NATO, and then I'm going to run him down with autos. Get very good harass. I miss a few minions, but overall it's a very good trade. Remembering that they have an enemy Nunu, I have to go for a deep ward. I can't be pushing up like this without my E up, and even if I had E up, I need to be very careful against Nunu. Right here, my game plan is likely to just let the wave come into me, just because, again, they have a Nunu. I don't want to get ganked. It's very easy to freeze against Yasuo, like I said earlier, so I'm going to go up and go for minions when I can. But let the wave come into me. I want to thin it out a little bit so it doesn't crash. And right there, I go for a Q, and then he goes for an E. It's kind of a mind game. I have to predict when he's going to E and E where he's going to land, or I have to Q where he's going to land. And now I know I'm very safe because Nunu's top. I have a good freeze. I could have Zach come gank me. He ends up going to assist top, then going back to his red buff. But I like the wave here. I want to try to keep it frozen here. I need to auto the minions as much as possible. I go for a QE or an EQ there. He wastes his wind wall, but remember, after he E's is the best option. That's the best timing for you to go for an EQ, because he can't really react with his W. Again, knowing that I got that ward out earlier, I can play safe. I go for a quick trade onto him. Unfortunately, I don't dodge the snowball, but we get to blow Nunu Flash, which is really good for us. So I've made a few small mistakes here and there, but overall, this lane is going very well for me. The wave is still on my side. Yasuo is kind of low, and he's going to need to reset soon. So I'm going to keep trying to thin out the wave. Don't let him reset. Right there was really bad. I should go for an EQ on him instead of trying to just land my Q, E. And then again, I end up having to flash here because I wasted my E and missed it. Zach flashes. I don't think it was necessary, but we end up securing the kill, so it's still really good. And right here, what I should do, in my opinion, is just reset. Kill those two minions and reset immediately. I end up canceling it. I'm not sure why, but the wave has 8 of his minions, 6 of mine. It should freeze for me. I'll miss a few minions, but I can still walk back, no problem. I buy boots and a sapphire crystal and maybe health pots or something else, and I'll get back and I don't have to waste teleport. Or I could just TP back if I want for tempo. I think I was really greedy here and wanted to get to my lost chapter, 1300 gold, which I'll get probably after this wave, but the problem is I'm very low on mana. Yasuo's full health. I think he still has Ignite. He might have it down. But it's very risky and difficult for me to stay. Thankfully, Zac is still here, and I'm going to keep my E up in case Nunu comes. I'm going to use my E to just last hit this minion, and I just realized I have to reset now, and I'm going to have to waste teleport. But notice how much better it would have been if I just reset and walked back. I wouldn't have to waste my teleport here. I could have just walked back. I would have missed a few minions. I would have missed maybe 2 minions, but he would have missed a lot more than I missed. So it ends up being worth it. After teleporting back, I'm just going to last hit under tower, try to get all the farm. Yasuo is missing, but he doesn't have great roam potential. So he's probably not roaming. He's probably either just getting wards out, taking raptors, or resetting. Just going to try to slow push the wave. I don't want to just fast push it. Just checking top every now and again, see what's going on the map. But again, Nunu's top, so that means I can play aggressive. I can use my E here for a quick trade. It wasn't a great trade because I only really landed the E damage on him. And I'm just going to go out and try to get a deep ward. I probably should have warded a little bit deeper just because we know that their support isn't there and we know where Nunu's dead. So I could easily walk up a bit further. It's really good to get deep wards against Nunu. Proc his shield. What I should do is just prep the wave for the crash and then farm under tower real fast, but I don't do that. I waste a lot of time here, and now I'm late to this dragon fight. Thankfully, the wave is kind of frozen for me, but it could have been a lot better. And I kind of waste a lot of time because I didn't move early. I saved my E. I don't want to waste all my mana, but me messing around earlier with the wave, trying to freeze it, is good for the 1v1, but it's not good for the team. So I played too much for myself and not enough for my team. My team has it here, and I start walking back to collect the big wave, but worry if a fight breaks out, I need to be there, so I end up coming, I steal the kill, but that's actually really bad. I should have just walked back mid. I didn't need to be there. My Shen ulted as well, which was kind of a waste in my opinion, but it is what it is. I missed a lot of minions now, though, so my lead from killing him is basically gone now, because I missed a whole wave, pretty much. We're both level 7 now. Nunu is going to be coming out from base, so ideally what I should look to do here is just crash this wave and then go for a reset. But because Yasuo goes in aggressively when he should be waiting for the wave to crash, I go for a quick EQ trade on him. I don't have E up, so I can't really harass him under tower. What I should do is just either reset or try to play with Zac here. I end up canceling my reset. I'm not sure why. It was a good time for me to reset. So that is definitely a mistake that I made there. And I'm just going to sit in the bush. I don't want to play up because Nunu's alive and missing. We can see that Yasuo is doing the raptors. I'm just going to push this. I don't know if I agree with fast pushing. I could probably slow push. However, because Zac is here, I slow push. I should be pinging and typing dive, but he's already in the mindset for it. He wants to do it. I time my E perfectly so that Yasuo can't wind wall it, and then I just R, and luckily he doesn't react with W fast enough so I can get the kill. But that could have gone really poorly. Here I should be looking top more too. I just walk right back mid. I should see maybe there's a gank opportunity top. I don't know if there is. I don't know if that's a mistake, but it is a mistake for me to not look. I also probably should have just reset because I end up being greedy and want to stay for my Ludens, but it's really risky to do this because now I don't have a lot of gold, or I have a lot of gold and I haven't spent any of it. Yasuo can easily run me down here. Zac ends up finishing off the Rift Herald, so it's not that big of a deal, but I just got lucky there. That was not intentional. I end up going for the reset, but could have been really bad. And now I lose out on the tempo and I don't get my items. So that was really bad for me. My bot ends up dying, so this is really bad. My bot is now weak siding. Yasuo was able to get a plate off of this play too. We're winning top side, so it's not horrible, but this was really bad for me, all because I had bad tempo there. And now Zach's able to get out, thankfully. I get all the farm, but what I should be doing is trying to get my team ahead. I'm up on the 1v1. I need to try to get my bot ahead now, and that's what I'm thinking. It's okay for Shen to be ahead, but it's not a big deal. We just want my bot lane to win because bot is going to carry. Shen isn't going to carry a game. I kind of waste my E there. That was a really bad EQ. I'm better off prepping a Q on the ground and then Eing that sphere. And again, because they have Nunu, I want to make sure that I am getting deep vision. I always want to have a pink out and my regular ward out so we can know where he is. And if we don't, I have to play very safe. I could go for a trade here, but because I don't know where Nunu is, I decide to play safe. I'm worried that they're going to make a play bot lane here. So it's very risky for me to face check this. I don't like that ward necessarily. I want to get a deeper ward, perhaps on their Raptors, but I can't really safely go for that. I can go for this ward because Blitz is here hovering me. I want to walk back mid now because Yasuo is going to crash this wave. I don't want to let him get plates, and I want to catch the wave or else I'll miss a lot of XP. Zach's asking for bot some, so we can tell that they're going to make a play there soon. Jhin is going to get zoned from this wave, which is really bad because it's 2v1. Blitz is mid, so this is kind of bad. I want to push this wave before moving, ideally, so this was kind of bad for me. I wasted a lot of time. I should either TP immediately here or reset into TP because I do have my mythic, but I end up walking, which is in my opinion really bad. I waste a lot of time. I definitely could have changed this fight, but I wanted to be greedy and didn't want to waste my teleport and ended up walking. And now that I'm bot, there's nothing really for me to do here, and Yasuo is going to get plates mid, so this was really bad for me. I'm pressuring their bot lane, but we're not getting anything out of it. My support already died. Yasuo is getting 2 plates mid, so this is just a really bad play for me. I reset and TP back in after buying, but now it's really bad because I TP in and die. This was a really bad fight for me to TP in onto, and I should have TP'd earlier. At this point, the game is over and we lose, just because I didn't translate my lead well. But I definitely could have carried it. Hopefully this shows you how to play in the 1v1 and translate your lead. I didn't translate my lead properly. However, I feel I've explained how I could have translated my lead better. Please consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel if you enjoyed this video, and I hope to catch you in the next one.